Out of difficulties grow miracles. Ashley, Terrell, and Fran each experience the difficulties that living life with mental illness brings. However, the powerful combination of determination, treatment, and creativity has put each on the road to recovery, using their talents to make a difference both to others with mental illness and to educate the clinical staff who treat mental illness.
I'm one of those people who have bipolar. I believe I've had it for a long time. And left untreated, it can cause job problems, relationship problems, it can cause money problems, it can cause a lot of problems with undiagnosed. It can also, 90% of people who commit suicide are treatable bipolar people that could have been treated had they only known.
Fran King uses her intimate knowledge of bipolar disorder to train healthcare professionals. In this instance, psychiatric nursing students at University of Detroit Mercy, to better understand mental illness and to sort through what is helpful treatment and what is not.
I have quite a story, and I just want to share it with as many people as possible. Well, it's been my passion for many years to go out because I never had a voice most of my life, and now that I have a voice, I want to be able to share it with other people. And how I became a motivational speaker is I met one of my mentors back in May of last year at a conference. And as a result of meeting her, I had not seen her in 3 years. And after meeting her, I became a motivational speaker through her. When I was a teenager, I noticed that I started having really bad mood shifts. And my stepmother would try to get me help, but my dad refused. He would have nothing to do with it. So finally, in about 11th grade, my stepmother advocated for me to get special education. After special education, I was able to graduate with a high school diploma in 1979. Wow, 30 years ago. Who would have ever thunk? But I'm just very grateful that I got that. It was a great accomplishment for what I had been through, you know, trying to establish myself and find myself, because my bipolar was not diagnosed, like I said, till I was 27. I still struggle with it up to this time. I had severe mood shifts they call rapid cycling. I would have a severe mood shift within 2 weeks, and then it went up to every 4 weeks, and I graduated to 9 months. Well, now, to make a long story short, I have been stable now for about 2 years. I want to be able to do conferences.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to end up. And this is reach as many people as I can, as high-profile people.
Mm-hmm.
Fran has come a long way, and she dares to dream big.
You know, that's I'm not certain of, but there's one thing I really want to do, and that is I want to do cards. I want to have my greeting card company.
Oh,
And
wow.
I already have a name for it. It's going to be called Frantastic.
Ashley Miller is a peer support specialist and consumer advocate at Community Network Services in the Young Adult Program funded by the Oakland County Community Mental Health Authority. At CNS, there is one peer support specialist assigned to each of 6 teams.
The best thing about working with people is just the people in general. I love the interaction, and I like to be able to provide some insight that the case managers can't. Basically, I provide Terrell with the support that he can have outside of his family that will be trustworthy, confidential, non-judgmental. I also get him actively involved in the activities, and sometimes if I call and he's like, oh, I'll be like, get out of bed.
Ashley is smart, professional, well-educated, and she too has a mental illness. Her job as peer support counselor and consumer advocate is to connect with service recipients and help them stay focused on their individual road to recovery. Her experiences help her to relate.
Once upon a time, I was finding that I was having a really difficult time dealing with things.
Yes.
And I couldn't figure out why.
Right.
And I'm like asking my mom to take me to go get some help, and you know, she's kind of like, you're fine,
Yeah.
you're fine, because what mother wants to believe that there's anything wrong with their
That's
child?
right.
So I really pushed it, and I
Oh,
ended up in
great.
psychology my junior year, and I'm looking at the profile for bipolar, and I'm like, whoa, am I reading my own life file here or
Yeah.
what? So it wasn't until my third hospitalization that someone from CNS came to see me. And from there, I became a part of CNS, and I guess they just had a hard time getting rid of me because I went from consumer to staff, so.
She's one of the first people to give me a call in the morning and just say, hey, you're going to the movies, or we're going to go do something, you know, whatever they're doing at the particular moment. So
Right.
it's definitely great to have someone that, you know, pushes you to, you know, come do things and activities, and even when you don't feel like doing them. I think it's great because that's when you need it the most. When you see someone that, you know, she's going through what I'm going through, so it's definitely, you know, great to have someone like that by your side.
Terrell Hames is one of the young adult mental health consumers that Ashley supports as part of her job as counselor. Despite his easygoing demeanor, life has not been easy for Terrell.
It was one day, it was just like that joy of my life was taken from me.
How?
I just woke up one day and I just didn't feel the same. I felt tired all the time, fatigued. It was a horrible way to feel
Right.
because I had no clue really of what was going on with my body and what was going on with my mind. I was diagnosed about 2 years ago, and it was a hard thing for me to grasp.
Terrell feels his decision to seek help was a good one.
It's everything. They have the peer counseling, they have therapy here, they have, you know, days where you need someone to talk to. There's someone for you to call. If you need someone that you need to, you know, discuss something, or you need to, you know, just someone to come over and just be a friend for you. You come here for that reason. You come here to get, you know, back on the right track. Like I said, it's like a family environment. No one judges you. No one says, you know, things out of, you know, context or anything. Everybody makes you feel like you're at home.
Ashley agrees that support is one of the keys to recovery from mental illness.
Don't be afraid, because really you don't know until you say something that there are other people out there like you. There are people going through things that are just as hard, if not harder than you. So you just gotta speak out and reach out for that help. Don't wait or fear stigma or anything like that. I mean, my opinion is if someone else has an opinion about you, just blow it off.
And Fran King, the health educator who plans to start her own greeting card company, shares her thoughts on mental illness through this poem.
People treat mental illness like leprosy, even though it affects ordinary people like you and me. But to some it's a laughing matter, to others it brings shame. Little do they realize it's neither funny or a game. People living with mental illness suffer every day, and to many more the pain never goes away. Some are fortunate enough to gain stability and live a life though mentally ill in recovery. Mental illness comes in many forms and stages, and also does not discriminate and has no ages. It affects the young and old, wealthy and poor, coming as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, and many more. Sometimes it's subtle and sneaks up on you, and before you know it, you could possibly be mentally ill too. But mental illness is treatable with medication, and wanting to get better often takes dedication. Overcoming challenges, overlooking being stigmatized. Above the mountains you can soar, above the valleys you can rise.